The year was 1948. Europe was ravaged by war, and the hatred was almost tangible. Yet even though World War II had come to an end, tensions were still high. Germany had started out confident with Hitler as their leader, and now they were desperately hurt by the Allies' bombers. Many of its citizens were left poor and hungry. The banks were hurting, and food was scarce. Germany could not govern itself, and the Allies knew this. The country was divided up among its victors, and so was its capital, Berlin. The Soviet Union controlled the eastern half, while France, Britain, and America split the western half. It was all peaceful again until Russia's leader, Joseph Stalin, became scared that the other allies would establish democracy in Berlin instead of communism. The Soviets ordered the Allies to leave Berlin. When the Allies refused to leave, Russia blockaded the western half of the city so that no supplies could come in by land or water. They figured that America and its radical ideas would have to leave when they ran out of food, but they underestimated just how important freedom was to the 2 million people that lived in West Berlin. But the citizens were relying on imported food, and when the blockade started, they were literally left with nothing. The Allies had to come up with a way to get supplies to 2 million hungry people, and fast. Negotiating with Stalin didn't work, and they couldn't break through the barricade by force without starting a war. It all seemed bleak until a British commander named Bryant Robertson came up with the idea to supply the city by air. And that is how the Berlin Airlift had begun. There were 3 air corridors that planes could fly to and from the city with, and 2 airports where planes could land to unload supplies. It would be extremely difficult, but it would be well worth it. It was estimated that people would need about 3,500 tons of supplies every day, and the Allies had a limited amount of planes that could carry a substantial amount of cargo. American freight planes called C-54s could carry about 10 tons, and American freight planes called C-130s could carry about 19 tons. Yet even though hundreds of tons of food were being brought into the city every day, people were still going hungry. It was dangerous work to fly planes because the German weather was so rough. Scavenging was becoming more popular, and some people even ate dead horses on the ground. Then, General William H. Tunner came up with the idea to enable more supplies to enter the city. He made pilots stay in their planes while unloading, and had information be brought to them so the planes wouldn't be stopping up the runways. He also helped to organize the procedures and type of planes that took part in the airlift. America then used German labor to help unload the supplies, and British waterplanes landed on Lake Havel in the city and brought even more supplies. After these changes, more food was being brought in a lot less time. Efficiency increased as America became better equipped and more organized. The rations for German people increased as well, so all were happier and healthier. Life was good again, and freedom was worth the wait. One American pilot even dropped candy from his plane with little makeshift parachutes. It was just one of the many kind deeds that America did for its former enemy. Everyone was grateful, and many were eager to help, all around the world. After almost a year and a half, Russia called off the blockade, and the airlift ended. 2 million people had been saved, and all were thankful. America jumped the obstacle, and God's will was done. Sometimes it takes a disaster to really bring out the best in people, and the Berlin Airlift was one of those times. World War II showed that America could not only fight the best, but could also save the most.